Hello everyone. This tutorial is going to show you how to use Emacs. The goal here is to get you going from 0 to 5 miles per hour, or jogging speed more or less. Okay, now that's out of the way. First, let's go ahead and open Emacs. So the first thing you might notice is you're going to see this scratch buffer showing. And I'll tell you what buffers are in a second, but really when you open up a text editor, you probably want to start writing or typing some text. What do? Step 1, I'm going to show you how to open and save a file. But before I do that, I just want to mention, you probably want to download or print out the GNU Emacs reference card. I'll show you what that looks like really quick. This thing right here. It's really handy because you're going to be doing a lot of commands in Emacs. You don't have to memorize all of them. In fact, I don't even bother memorizing most of these. There's just a few key ones that are pretty handy that I use quite a bit. So when you look at this reference card, you're going to notice that there's a lot of C's and there's a lot of M's. Just know that the C stands for control and the M stands for meta key. So for this first one right here, you're going to hit control, then you're going to hit Z. For this one right here, you're going to hold down the meta key, which is Alt, and then you're going to hit B. So that will be the keystroke to run this command. Remember, meta key for M, control for C. I'm going to show you how to open a file. To open a file, click on File, Open File. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to my desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and open this right here, this example.scheme. Done. I just opened a file. What if you want to create a new file? Well, I'm going to do the same thing, go to File, and visit New File. As you can see, here's also the keystroke to do that. Or I'm just going to hit this page icon right here. I'm going to title it test.txt, and I'm going to hit OK. Now I can start typing some stuff. Awesome. To save it, click Save. As you can see, I created a new file, and here it is on my desktop. Now we're going to move on to buffers. So when I launched Emacs, you probably noticed that stuff right there, all that text. Let me do it again. This is a scratch buffer. And I'm not exactly sure how to describe buffers in an Emacs-y sort of way, but just know that a buffer is just another way of, you can think of it as a tab or a page. Like in your browser, you open up a new tab. Well, in Emacs, when you open a new buffer, it's like opening a new tab. So here are the current buffers that are running. They have stars next to them. This is scratch. This is messages. Well, I want to open up a new page. I want to open a file actually. And notice now my buffer right here. Another buffer just got added called example.scheme. I could still switch back to the other buffers. But right now I'm currently working in this. So just think about whatever tab you want to open up or buffer, that's what you click on. Enough about buffers. Let's talk about managing windows. So with all these handy dandy keystrokes that are on the GNU Emacs reference card, one helpful one is deleting a window. Also setting up multiple windows. So to split a window, hold Control and X and then 2. So Control X 2. Now I have two windows I can work from. It's still the same buffer, but I have two windows. Let's say this really annoys me, and I want to delete this window. Well, all I have to do is hold down Control, hit X, and now hit the number 1. Now it got rid of the split screen. Those are the basics of using Emacs. It can be as simple or as complicated as you want. Let's say you want to take it a step further and actually start customizing Emacs. Well, you can get super crazy with it, but I recommend just starting simple first. So in order to customize it, you're going to want to open the config file. Right? The config file is just a file that you type stuff on to modify Emacs. So to get to this, remember this keystroke. This is an important one. it's going to be Control X and then Control F. So I'm going to do that right now. Control X, Control F. Notice on the bottom here, it's asking me to find a file. Well, I'm going to go ahead and complete this search by typing ~.emacs. This is my config file right here. Let me go ahead and enlarge it so you can see. This right here was just when I changed the theme. It sort of added that to the config file. But this stuff on the bottom right here, you can tell because I left a comment. These are things I added to customize Emacs. For example, 2 spaces for auto indent. Another thing that I really particularly like is number lines. I like them to always be on, so I don't have to constantly do it every time I launch Emacs. Another thing is I don't like the startup message. So when you first download Emacs, you're going to see a startup message. I think it's kind of annoying, so this gets rid of that. And there's a few other things too. So for like coding and scheme, there's syntax highlighting, parentheses, all that kind of stuff. So most of this stuff you can just look up and copy and paste it in this config file. So what you do is you just do a Google search for whatever it is you want to customize. Usually they'll give you the script or the code for it in Lisp, and then you just copy and paste this. Make sure you save it, and then when you close this and relaunch Emacs, the changes will go into effect. So that's enough for now. This is a pretty good start. And if you'd rather use some of these customizations that I have, I'll leave a link or something below that you can just copy and paste this and add it to your config file, if you so choose. There's really nothing special here, it's just a few things I wanted to add. Oh, and another thing too is the file path here on the top. So that I don't think that shows up by default. So what I did is I added a, where did I put it? Yeah, so line 39 to 44. I just copied and pasted this. I found it by doing a Google search. But if you want your Emacs window to always show the file path, you're going to need this. Anyways, I hope this helped you, and please like my video and subscribe to my channel and blah blah blah, all that stuff. Thanks, have a good day.